Medieval Italian village Brisighella was abuzz last weekend with news that new national hero Mercedes young gun Kimi Antonelli had been awarded the Lorenzo Bandini Trophy for 2026. The prestigious award, created in 1992 to honor the late great Bandini, who died at the 1967 Monaco Grand Prix following a fiery crash, is given for a commendable performance in motorsport. Antonelli, who became the second Mercedes F1 driver to win the trophy in the last 3 years after teammate George Russell in 2024, and the 33rd overall, drove from classic track Imola to Brisighella in his father's GT3 car that was wrapped in a special Kimi livery. The standings leader also faced the media, where he not only poured cold water on rumors of a Ferrari switch, but preached harmony at the Silver Squad following fireworks on track in Canada.
We don't want to recreate a scenery like Luce and Rosberg, where internally in the team was not the best. So of course we're gonna race each other hard. But we'll try to be as fair as possible, avoiding any crashes or contacts, because we want the best as well for the team. We want Mercedes to win as well. So yeah, we're gonna go at each other for sure, but in a fair manner.
F1 has a contingency plan for the calendar's final 2 races in Qatar and Abu Dhabi, should they have to be cancelled due to ongoing conflict in the region, with a decision needed before the summer break. F1's 2026 calendar has already been reduced to 22 rounds, following the cancellation of its events in Bahrain and Saudi Arabia earlier this year that created a 5-week gap between Japan and Miami, and cost the sport more than $100 million in lost revenue. F1 continues to monitor the situation, stating it has to be as pragmatic as possible, but knows it can't wait to the last minute due to the logistics and costs of moving a paddock full of people and equipment around the world. It's expected that should F1 be forced to cancel Qatar and Abu Dhabi for no Middle Eastern rounds for the first time since 2003, Las Vegas won't be 2026's final race. F1 TV commentator Alex Jacques has praised Alpine's Franco Colapinto, who has strengthened his place at Enstone with successive personal best places, 7th in Miami and 6th in Canada. Colapinto had scored just 1 point to teammate Pierre Gasly's 15 across the first 3 races, putting his future at Enstone at risk. But Jacques told the sport's official podcast F1 Nation that it's the pressure that has forced him to up his game, with the split now 15-20.
It's the motivation of keeping your seat in Formula One. He's the driver hovering over the exit with a team boss who is famously impatient if you're not performing. If he didn't have these results, he would be in trouble. Back-to-back personal best in Formula One is superb, and it gives him a foundation for the rest of the year.
Staying with Alpine, which rocked the paddock last week with news it had landed Gucci, one of the world's most iconic fashion houses and a household name, as its title partner from 2027 to replace BWT. The multi-year deal, which is reckoned to be worth more than $150 million, is a big statement from Enstone that proves its readiness and ambition to return to being a top squad again. The change won't just be to the livery, which is expected to be black and gold, matching the Italian brand's colors, with some blue for Alpine, but also the name, as Gucci Racing Alpine F1 Team. The Enstone team has a history of doing things differently to others, and has previously shown that fashion can finish first in Formula One, said Alpine's executive advisor Flavio Briatore. Continuing on at Enstone, where Mercedes has pulled out of a deal to purchase investment group Otro Capital's 24% share in Alpine's F1 team, with the marque turning down its $720 million asking price that values the team at $3 billion. Otro Capital purchased the stake in 2023 when it was valued at just $230 million, But while Mercedes, which supplies both power units and gearboxes to Alpine, had agreed in principle to buy the shares, it felt the latest valuation was inaccurate. Mercedes' pullout could pave the way for a consortium led by ex-Red Bull boss Christian Horner to now make the acquisition. Cadillac team boss Graham Loudon has rubbished rumors that he's set to axe Valtteri Bottas, with the Brits stating that they're factually incorrect. Bottas's teammate Sergio Perez has had the Finns measure across the first 5 races, going 4-1. But Loudon says the driver's focus is firmly on car development. UAE native Mohammed bin Sulayem could remain FIA president for life, with removal of the 12-year term limit cap to be debated and voted on at next month's General Assembly in Macau. The 12-year term limit for FIA president was brought in by bin Sulayem's predecessor Jean Todt, following Max Mosley's 16-year tenure from 1993 through to 2009. Also proposed are stricter rules for future candidates, who would need to demonstrate sufficient experience within an FIA member or an FIA body, and announce a list of vice presidents 100 days before the election, more than doubling the current deadline. Audi boss Mattia Binotto says the German marque won't stand against prospective power unit changes for next season, nor a V8 return beyond that, with the brand in the sport for the long term. Audi announced in 2022 that it would join the sport this year, based on the series switch to a cost-controlled, sustainably fueled super hybrid F1 car. But while cost and efficiency remain important to the brand, Binotto told the sport's official podcast Beyond the Grid that Audi is open to changes.
Then we'll be very open to the discussion, we'll be supportive to a constructive discussion. And I don't think that today there is anything which will stop us by being part in the future.
Former Ferrari boss Luca de Montezemolo has slammed the marque over its new all-electric road car Luce, with the Italian stating that if he were to say what he thought about it, it would harm Ferrari. The prancing horse launched its first EV last week, named Luce, or Light, priced at $640,000, but the design of which has divided fans and critics online for its similarity to mass-market counterparts. The Luce, however, is rapid, with an electric motor on each wheel that will rocket it to 100 kilometers per hour in around 2.5 seconds, with a top speed of 310. But Montezemolo isn't convinced. "I hope they at least remove the Ferrari badge," he said. "I'm quite sure that this is a car that even the Chinese won't copy." Thanks for watching. To stay up to speed on all things Formula One, make sure you hit the subscribe button.